Let's get some analysis on this election and go to journalist Veronica Pedrosa, who joins me now from Manila. Veronica, good to have you back on the show. I want to get your take because this is a landslide victory for Marcos Jr. And I'm specifically asking you this question because your family was forced into exile by the Marcos regime after your mother, who's also a journalist, wrote a biography of the former First Lady Imelda Marcos. I want to hear your thoughts.
I would actually disagree with what the correspondent said a little bit earlier about the fact that it was an easy message to put across for the Marcos camp. What I would say is that the Marcos camp lied, conducted a campaign of disinformation for decades. It's not that it was an easy sell, it was that there was consistent lying in social media, in all media for many, many years. To this day, for example, it's a very small matter, but Ferdinand Marcos Jr. insists that he got some kind of qualification from Oxford University. He did not.
Okay. Nonetheless, it was a successful rebranding campaign. Hence, he got 30 million votes. That is twice the number of Leni Robredo, the person who sits in second place. You have characterized this campaign as one full of disinformation, of lies. Tell me how confident you are, or convinced you are, that Marcos Jr. will not resort to some of the tactics that were used by his parents.
Not at all confident, to be honest with you, because that is the hallmark of both his family's rule, their reputation, as indeed it is of his main sponsor, the current president, Duterte, whose daughter, as your correspondent just mentioned, is going to be the vice president if all goes, if all is formalized a little bit later by the Commission on Elections. I think, though, that means that this country will face 6 years of instability. They're not natural partners. It is an alliance of convenience. The Marcos Duterte dynastic duo is going to face a lot of infighting within their own camp, and a large sector of the population doesn't want to grant them legitimacy and credibility because exactly of the reputation that they have of being a family of thieves, a family of murderers. The government bureaucracy is likely to be split. The military may even be split. This is an electoral base that is built on an illusion that Marcos might deliver on his promises of everything under the sun. People are going to be inevitably disappointed, and it's going to be really a messy few years, I think. We have a calm possibly now before the storm, but I suspect that things are going to be very difficult in the years going forward.
Veronica, you characterize them as a family of murderers. It's widely reported that the Marcoses have plundered billions of dollars from the state.
You know, this is not just reported. It is proven.
Okay, all right.
It has been sorted.
Okay.
The World Bank found that the money that they gave.
Okay, it has reported. All right, let me get to my question.
Not reported.
Okay.
It is proven.
Okay, all right. I take your point. I mean, let me ask you, why do you think the country hasn't been able to bring the Marcoses to account of these deeds despite decades passing?
There was a very small window of opportunity, perhaps, immediately after the Marcoses were ousted. There were attempts to bring people to account, but their allies remained around. And in order for the government to keep on going, there was a lot of kind of impunity. This is a country that is marked by impunity. It often feels as if justice is an outside imposition. Within the political system, it is based on patronage, which in itself is also based on impunity. You let people get away with things because they belong to your party or your tribe or your family. And I think this is a really fundamental problem that is to do with society and not just and culture, and not just to do with the political system per se. And that it's such a problem because we had a successful exercise of democracy. I would say it looks right. Everything looks like it was right. But because of the culture of impunity, people get away with everything.
Yeah. Veronica Pedrosa, thank you very much for coming on the show. It's good to have you on. I do appreciate the analysis. Thank you.